is insane. And there is no way that you are going to get to your next level, that you are going to get the body of your dreams, the life of your dreams, the career of your dreams, if you consistently compare other people. And this is one of the things I do love about being an older millennial, is that I remember compare yourself to. Let me know in the comments if there's any other millennials, older millennials, that are vibing with me on this. Let me know. Back in the day, it's just funny that I'm saying that now. It's just weird. But back in the day, there was only maybe like your coworkers, maybe people that you went to college with, maybe people that you knew in your neighborhood when you went for a walk after dinner after your neighborhood. There wasn't really too much to compare yourself to. We didn't really have the internet. Maybe at the time there was like Facebook was barely getting started. That was really only for college students at the time, which I did have one. I went to Fresno State. And, MySpace was barely starting. And again, that was just more so like another way to just share fun photos. I don't even think they had video at the time. Just share fun photos. We would still email each other. Like we had AOL, Yahoo, right? And oh my God, you guys, do you guys hear that? The wind is blowing so hard. It's wild. Literally my car is shaking. But there just wasn't, my main point is there wasn't people to compare yourself to. Now, I want to tell you guys a couple different stories about what I've noticed living in Los Angeles, California. I have lived in Los Angeles, California pretty much my whole adult life at this point, and outside of going to Fresno State and living in Fresno. And it's just sad. It's just sad what the internet has done. The internet is such an amazing place because like right now we can connect with each other, and you could be in Australia watching this, right? You can be in the UK watching this. You can be in India watching this. But on the flip side, the amount of comparison that people are doing is literally ruining people's lives, men and women equally. Okay, men are feeling like they need to be rushed and have to meet a certain standard by a certain time, and feeling rushed and feeling a lot of pressure from society. Women, as far as financially, and not in a healthy way, right? It's healthy to obviously encourage our young men to want to be, providers and want to do well for themselves financially, and want to build generational wealth for their future family and things like that. But it's almost like a vicious, like almost like this, like putting our young men through torture of like what they need to be. And women, oh my God. I mean, the comparison with body shaming. And when I tell you, living in LA, it's like whatever's trending, you'll see it at the gym. Like if it's a new BBL, you'll see it at the gym. If it's being skinny, you'll see it at the gym. And the stuff that people are doing to keep up is viciously unhealthy. And it's mentally, what number one, it's mentally ruining, like it's creating a distortion, right? Because what's happening is like you number one, people are way more indecisive. I've even noticed it in moments of myself where I'm like, whoa, this is not that serious, just decide, right? Like you want this, just go after this. Like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? There's so many options on the internet that we see. And what I want to tell you is that this, you might need to shut down from the internet or turn off your notifications, or maybe even like change some settings on your Instagrams or on your other social media platforms to where you're not seeing comments. Maybe you're not seeing as many posts pop up. Maybe you're not seeing certain type of, sites popping up, because it's getting bad. And what I'm finding is that women, especially women, this channel is really, it's mainly for women, but definitely men can benefit, I believe, from my channel as well. But women are hurting, women are, there's just so much pressure. There's so much confusion. And I think that we've strayed away really far from just general, like, human workout, eat healthy, read, nourish your mind, practice self-love, be around individuals in your life that are like-minded, and positive, and just kind of like this basic community, human to humanness, and just like individual health, and then that individual health spills over into the community. The comparing and contrasting and then feeling like you have to keep up, it's like, on one end it's beautiful because you can look at different people all over the world and what they do to stay healthy and active. But then on the other end, it's like feeling like you need to be rushed and like get there. And what people aren't understanding is that you haven't seen their journey to get there. You haven't seen the blood, sweat, and tears to get there. You haven't maybe seen their issues with, food insecurity, or a bad relationship with food, or maybe being so depressed that they got super skinny. So you might see someone that is super skinny and they're smiling online, but then maybe they got super depressed and they're actually dealing with some internal pain. Like, you don't really know. And so don't feel like you have to keep up. And a lot of times too, I think that what's sad is that a lot of us are like falling out of love with our own ancestral like beauty. Like, if you have a bigger nose, if you have bigger, like me, like I'm okay with like hitting a little contour and calling it a day. Like, this is just my nose. It served me well, right? Like, it's my big nose and it helps me breathe, and like that, it is what it is. And so I think, again, whatever you want to do with your body I'm in support of, right? Like, it doesn't matter, whatever makes you happy. But just, you got to be, when you look in the mirror, you got to be honest with yourself. And the reason why I brought up LA is that a lot of times, most of these enhancements or these things that women are doing are not, they're not solving what's on the inside, right? They're not doing it. Like, we think, okay, well, once I do this one procedure, or once I do this one tweak, it's going to solve on the inside. And it may give like a false sense of gratification for a while on the outside, but then there's going to be something else that gets amplified. Like, I watch a lot of shows where they get, a lot of surgery. And once they get one surgery, it like enhances another area that they want to perfect and tweak. And I get it. It's like, it does, when you do see maybe a certain type of girl on all the billboards, right? And they have this certain type of face, certain type of nose, certain type of face shape, certain type of lip shape, certain type of body shape. It does make you kind of want to like, well, is that the standard? But I think that because there just wasn't as much to compare ourselves to, older millennials and I think above, remember when it was just like, it was beautiful to just like have your shape, right? Like, whatever your shape was, like, it was beautiful to have your, lip shape, or your eye shape, or your nose shape. Like, it was kind of like, and even too, like, there's even like scientific studies behind this where, there's men that are actually attracted to their, like, primitively, like, attracted to like their, their ethnicity or their particular race. But because we've been conditioned, like, externally, it kind of like has you confused and our mindset skewed a little bit. So it's just a very confusing time, I feel like, for people in general. And what I want to say is that, like, if you're feeling, whoa, the car is just shaking so much. It is so wild. Like, if I were to show you guys, like, let me, I'm going to turn the camera around. Like, look how much it's blowing. And it's not even really showing, like, look at that. That's how bad it's blowing out here. It's crazy. So what I want to say is, like, some of you guys might need to do a shutdown for 30 days. And maybe it is, I'm not really a fan of like completely deleting. This is just my personal, this is not like scientifically backed or anything, because I know that we live in an age where social media is not going anywhere. AI is not going anywhere. The internet's not going anywhere. I almost feel like we have to master our muscle and dominion over it, right? So I think that you tweak it to where it's like it serves you, right? So like, if you're constantly seeing things pop up on the internet and you find yourself comparing yourself, and it's not a sense of motivation, like, ooh, they have that car, they have that money, they have that, ooh, I'm motivated. If it's giving you more of like, well, my life sucks, why am I so behind? Why? Then you might need to like change some of the settings to where you're not being triggered, because a lot of times we're not like looking to like compare ourselves. Sometimes it just pops up, right? Like it just like ding, and like, or we'll open up an app and like we'll just see something that is like maybe something that we don't have or we don't look like, and then our brain just automatically is comparing, and we're like, okay, well, what's wrong with me? So, you know, again, this is not for everybody. This is just for a few select people that are going through this right now, especially during the holiday season, where you open up the camera and you're seeing, you know, maybe happy relationships. Maybe you're in a marriage you're not in a happy marriage, and you're seeing other happy marriages and it's making you feel bad. Or you're seeing, you know, people with other homes, or they're getting gifts, like what they're getting gifted. You're like, man, I wish I had that. Or, you know, maybe career, right? Like maybe you got let go from your career, and then you see someone else getting promoted in their career during this time period, and holiday season is here, and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get presents? Like, you know, all these hundreds, thousands of different scenarios that can pop up. And if you're kind of struggling right now, it's okay to like change the settings. Like, even for me, I'm building my coaching program right now. And for me, I just need to buy some of my time back. So I've actually, this is what I've done. You might want to do this with me too, is I've actually changed the settings on my Instagram to where I don't look at people's stories. I'll look at, this is Snoop Dogg. Like, see how notice how the top is like grayed out, right? So only my story is highlighted. I this part because I do like seeing like some updates from people that I follow, but like all this is grayed out. Like if you notice, like it's not highlighted at all. So like it doesn't trigger me to like look at stories, and then it doesn't trigger me to like, oh, like I lost 13 minutes of my life because I'm trying to like, you know, I'm trying to study, or I'm trying to build my coaching package, or I'm trying to build my course, but then I'm like spending 22 minutes like looking at people's stories, and I'm like, ooh, thankfully I have designed my Instagram to where everything is aspirational on mine. So people that I follow, fitness pages, health pages, wealth pages, it's all things that like trigger excitement and inspiration. I don't really have the comparison. And, you know, let me tell you why. I think that I learned not the hard way, but I learned my lesson early on when I moved to LA many years ago. And LA is one of the most beautiful, has arguably the top 3 in the world of the most beautiful women in the entire planet. Just because like a lot of the women that are born all over the earth come to LA to you know, to be actress, model, you know, pursue these careers where their beauty is what is making them who they are, right? It's how they're designing their name or whatever. So like I learned that 15 years, you know, a long time ago. I learned that a long time ago. So if anything, I had to learn pretty quickly to just be confident in what you look like. Not everybody's going to think you're a 10. Not everybody's going to think you're top, you know, the top of the top, but then you might be a certain group of people's 10, right? So I got very comfortable with that very, very quickly. And, you know, so just for any women, young women out there that are like feeling like you're comparing yourself, or feeling like, man, like I just can't keep up. You don't have to keep up. Like you just need to keep up with yourself. Like just start top to bottom. And what are some things that you want to enhance? What are some things that what are some things that you're happy about, right? Like what are some things that you love? Like when you start finding that you're comparing yourself, and this is for men too, because I feel like men do this on the low. They don't really want to necessarily talk about it because it's not like talk about, but I know that there's men that really, you know, maybe pay attention to like their physique, you know, if they're, you know, muscled out or whatever. But, you know, for women, start with, this is crazy, this wind. For women, start with what you love about yourself. So, okay, boom. I love, you know, how my eyes look. I love my eyebrow shape. I love, you know, my hair. I love my lip shape. I love that how my cheeks are, you know, my cheekbones, or, you know, whatever it is for you on your face. You know, I love, like, I'll call out some for me, like some things that I love about myself. I don't care if one other person loved it. I love my hair. I love my lip shape. I love how big my eyes are. Like, I just like that they're big and like bubbly. Like I like when I do my makeup, I feel like I can like do like, it's for me, right? So just look in the mirror and say, what are some things I love? And then you learn how to enhance those things, right? So maybe something else that you don't necessarily love, you're not so focused on that one thing, but you're like highlighting the things that you do love. So when you go out in public, you're like leading with like the stuff that you like are happy about with yourself, right? And then there's things that you can change. Again, start head to toe. Like if you want to get your hair together, if you want to get your eyebrows together, like my eyebrows, they, since I was born, they just, this is it. I pluck them. You would think that I do, they just don't grow. They just don't. So that's okay. I've just been on a journey of learning how to like shape them the best way that I can with makeup, right? So then go to your eyes. Like, okay, so if you're not really, happy about like your eyes, what are some cool things that you can look at? The internet is such an amazing place. Like I was saying, it's a blessing and a curse. The blessing about the internet is that you can actually look up your particular eye shape. If it's small, how you want to make it look enhanced. If your eyes are a certain shape that you're not really happy about, how you can like correct it to where like it's a shape that you like, or round it or make it more angular or whatever, right? There's beautiful things that you can do if you don't like your nose shape, right? Like you can do other things to enhance other things. Like, my nose is what it is. I just think it's just my nose. I don't really have like, it's just there. Really like in love with it, but I don't like hate it either. It's just there. It ain't going nowhere. And I'm not going to get a nose job. And I know that about myself. So that's out. So checked off on the nose, go to the lips. Okay. How can you, if your lips are too small, how can you make them bigger? If your lips are a shape that you don't really like, maybe you can do a shape that, so start from head to toe and go on a journey the next month of like falling in love with yourself and like seeing what you can enhance and not enhance. Like me, I really like my décolleté area, right? Like I like the area on my body. So like I'll wear tops that like show my shoulders, that show my décolleté. I don't have the biggest boobs on the planet, right? Like I have a small B cup. So which I particularly love. Like I have no desire to get my boobs done. At one point I actually contemplated it, just because I think like when I was a lot younger, like going from my teenage years into my early 20s, I was like, ooh, like especially during that time, I feel like during that era, boobs were like really in, and like, yeah. And I worked at Hooters, which was funny. So like there was a lot of attention on that area, and like the fact that mine were small. But now I love it. Now I'm just like, I love that the fact that I can throw this on and I don't have to worry about a lot or like have back issues or anything like that. So at the stage that I'm at now, I love that. So I don't have any issue with that. Like, so just go, if you're a young woman watching this, or even if you're a woman, that's even older, just like start from the top and like each week, like fall in love with each part of your body and like enhance or take away or, see what you can do. And then you just become this beautiful version of yourself where you genuinely are happy on the inside and it's exuding on the outside. And yeah, you may not look like Bella Hadid or Beyonce or, who else is like the top? I don't know, Taylor Swift, like in every era. Like you may not look like, I don't know, Deep Ikka, like she's a gorgeous Indian actress, but like you have your version, right, of like your own beauty. And like sometimes like the aura that you're just giving off when you walk into a room, you could be like arguably maybe like, I don't like to like use numbers, but like I'll just use it for the sake of the example. Like you could arguably be a 7 in society's eyes, but like when you walk into that event or that party, you become the 10. Even if you're not like the girl that like, everybody would typically hit on or whatever. But because your aura, you're walking in with your shoulders down, neck up, like neck showing, head up, shoulders back, like shoulders down, and just walking with confidence of like, this is who I am. This is what I love about myself. People are just drawn to it. It's like they're drawn to the aura, the beauty aura that you're giving off. So I don't know who that is for today, but please stop comparing yourself. All you can do is just compare yourself to yourself, because it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop. There's always going to be someone that's arguably prettier, arguably more beautiful, arguably better, arguably more in shape, arguably better. So instead of doing that, just get right with you, and then you just don't even care. Like you just don't. So I think I do love that aspect of like where I'm at in my life. I don't I mean, of course, I'm definitely not perfect, but like, I don't have, I think I'm just used to being around a lot of beautiful women to where like it forced me to get comfortable with my own beauty and what I enjoy about myself. And then because of what I enjoy about myself, I stand on it. It like exudes out. And then, you know, sometimes you could outshine somebody else just with your shininess and your aura and your light and your radiance and your vibrance. So definitely make sure, don't compare yourself, okay? If you are interested in some of the things that I have done to get myself on track, with my confidence, how I look, my health with ease and flow, definitely tap in with the link down below with my How to Lose Belly Fat ebook guide. Everything that I do, it says how to lose belly fat. But in order to lose belly fat, there's a lot of things that you have to do that end up enhancing other things, like making you look younger, making you lose weight overall, right? Having your muscle pop through, having your skin, you know, maybe your bone structure start to pop through a little bit more to where you might look a little younger because of it or whatever. Like there's things that I've put list of things that I've done over the years that I wish someone would have told me 10, 15 years ago. So if you want to, and it's ever too late, but if you want to check that out, definitely tap in with the link down below. It's How to Lose Belly Fat. It's on sale. It's a super easy guide. And also some other things that I use, my RYZE Mushroom Coffee that I'm drinking right now, you guys already know. It has less than half the amount of caffeine than it does in regular coffee, and caffeine ages you. It is what it is. So I'll even go on weeks where I don't even have my RYZE Mushroom Coffee because I just want to stay away from caffeine for a couple of weeks. Anything that you find, this is another quick tip. Anything that it starts to be like you can't operate without it, that's become your god. And you don't want, then you need to go the opposite way. So if you're like, I can't start my day without looking at the internet, you need to do a detox. I can't start my day without my caffeine, or else I cannot operate. You might need to do a detox. You might need to start to peel yourself back. Like my mom did a really excellent job, I feel like, with this. She never quit coffee, but she just started to do, like, she went from 2 to 3 cups. I did the same thing, actually. I was on the 2 to 3 cup trip too. But I watching my mom's journey. She did 2 to 3 cups. Then she went down to like 1.5. Then she went down to like 1 big cup. Then she went down to like a smaller cup, mixing it with like oat milk. And then she was like, oh, I discovered the RYZE Mushroom Coffee. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, I want to try that too. So she discovered it. I tried it out. I actually enjoyed it. So now that's just all, when it comes to caffeine, that's all we drink. If we're going to do caffeine, we're going to do it in the RYZE Mushroom Coffee because it's less than half the amount of caffeine. So I feel like it's actually the correct amount, in my opinion. I don't know. Let me know. Someone let me know in the comments. But like when I've traveled to other countries, they don't give you that much coffee. I don't know. Am I tripping? I just feel like they give you like this small little tiny little cup, like almost like a 6-ounce cup of coffee. And in America, it's like our tall Starbucks is like bigger than 8 ounces, I feel like. Or maybe it's like, I don't know, like 10 or something. I feel like it's too much. So, again, caffeine, like, is not gonna, there's definitely people that have lived well into their hundreds with drinking coffee, but I'm wondering if they weren't drinking so much in one sitting. Oh my gosh, I gotta get off this street. It's like, it's literally, the wind is crazy. So, it's fall, so, you know, it's normal in the San Fernando Valley for it to be this windy, but wow. I almost feel like a branch might like fly off and hit my car. Like that's how windy it is. So let me not manifest that. Let me get out of here. But definitely make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, tap in with my other videos about some of the other things I do with health, fitness, mindfulness. I am a certified life coach, so you're going to want to make sure to follow me and subscribe for, so that way when I do announce my coaching package, if you want to work with me one-on-one, I am offering coaching to my internet family. So I'm super excited about that. I already do life coaching with some CEOs and high-level executive in my current life right now. That I know just from knowing them in person, but like my internet family, I'm offering that to you guys. So definitely make sure to subscribe and catch me on the next one. Bye.